Welcome to The Sauce, where we're not just talking, we're transforming. Did you know that studies show listening to just 30 minutes of music can reduce stress hormones by up to 65%? Did you know your favorite playlist could be more effective than a spa day? Think about it. How often do you turn to music? When you're feeling down or need to lift your spirits? Ever wonder why that works? Join us today as our host, Royan Mitchell, dives into exactly how music helps us heal and, in many ways, find ourselves again. Listen up and enjoy today's episode.
Now, who doesn't like the sound of music? Music has this crazy way of speaking to our souls without using a single word, right? It's like the universal language that cuts across every barrier, no matter where you're from or what you're going through. It could bring us peace, lift us out of anxiety, and even help us reconnect with who we really are. Today, we're talking about how music is not just background noise, but a healing tool and how it can guide us on a journey of self-discovery. Let's get real for a second. Life can be a lot, can't it? Stress, anxiety, feeling isolated, especially after the past few years, can leave you feeling like you're lost in the shuffle of everything. Maybe you're struggling with your mental health, or maybe you just feel like you don't know who you are anymore. Healing feels like something we talk about, but don't really know how to get to. I've been there, where you can't tell if you're coming or going, and every little thing feels overwhelming. It's in those moments where you just need something to help you find your footing again. And that something just might be music. Now, I'm not saying it's some magic portion, but I am saying it's a powerful tool that can help you when you're stuck in those moments. Here's where it gets good. Music doesn't just sound nice. It actually does something to your brain. Did you know that? When we listen to music, it triggers the release of dopamine, that feel-good chemical. It's why that one song can get you hyped, or another can calm you down after a stressful day. Therapists even use music in what's called music therapy to help people process their emotions, deal with trauma, and cope with mental health challenges. And if we dig a little deeper, I can't help but think about how God designed music with this incredible power. The Bible is full of references to music being used in times of trouble. Just think about David playing the harp for King Saul. And in our own lives, when we lean into music, we find comfort, healing, and sometimes even clarity. Let me get personal for a second. Some of y'all know my story, how I went through a season of debilitating anxiety and panic attacks, and it was one of those hardest things I've ever faced. I talked about this in my book, Breaking Through, but what I didn't share enough about is how music played a role in my healing. There were days when all I could do was put on some praise and worship music, and those songs were like a lifeline, man. I could barely pray, barely speak, but one thing I could have done was listen. Those lyrics became prayers. They became my prayers when I didn't have the words. Music carried me through some of my darkest days, reminding me that I was not alone and that God was still in control. Hey, before we keep it moving, if this episode is resonating with you, please make sure you subscribe, share, and don't forget to grab a copy of my book, Breaking Through: A Christian's Perspective on a Journey to Freedom from Anxiety and Fear. Because in my book, I talk about my journey through anxiety, panic attacks, and how faith and worship music were two things that played a massive part in my healing. You can find it on Amazon and Barnes & Nobles. Trust me, it's a read that will encourage you no matter where you are in your journey. Okay, so here's the takeaway. Music isn't just something to fill the silence. It's a bridge to healing and a path to finding yourself again. Whether it's a song that makes you feel seen or worship music that brings you closer to God, don't underestimate the power of it in your life. You're not alone on this journey. And sometimes all it takes is the right melody to remind you of that. All right, y'all, so now it's your turn. I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let me know how music has played a role in your healing journey. And if this episode blessed you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. But until next time, keep listening, keep healing, and keep pressing forward.
Thanks for tuning in to The Sauce, where faith and real talk meet transformation. If this episode resonated with you, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs it. And don't forget to check out Royanne's book entitled Breaking Through, a Christian's Perspective on a Journey to Freedom from Anxiety and Fear. Available on Amazon. It's filled with tools for overcoming mental health struggles and walking in freedom. Until next time, remember, this too shall pass, but until it does, what you do in the meantime will determine your outcome. So, stay grounded in faith, take care of your mental health, and let God's peace guide you through every storm.